When we started talking about this movie in terms of a sense of adventure, an action sequence on a train was something we'd always wanted to do. We wanted to build upon the previous films and apply all of that knowledge to something practical and real, and bring this train sequence to another level. There was not a surplus of trains available to be wrecked. We had to build the train if we wanted to destroy it. To shoot it practically was extremely challenging. Not just to execute, but also to design all the different train cars that could actually function on a working railroad track. No one else in the world is doing this level of practical filmmaking, and it may never be done again.
The train sequence takes us on an adventure that's absolutely huge. We have this big fight on the roof, going 60 miles an hour through a real valley.
I've done fight scenes, but to do them on a moving train was trial by fire. That's how Tom likes to do things.
He's gonna now pull me off the train.
When you're hanging off a train carriage, Tom's a great person to have beside you. Not only is he fearless, he is always looking to see how it's going to land for the audience.
Crash in the train involved multiplying factors of difficulty. You'd be chasing the train as it goes off. Every single camera had exactly one shot at getting it right.
It's not just a matter of going off. Because if we do it all, we don't capture it right, what's the point?
3, 2, 1, action!
Everything you're seeing in this spectacular train sequence is done to invest the audience in these characters.
Hang on!
Mission Impossible is the most extraordinary adventure franchise you've ever seen.
You can only do it with a team like this and with an actor like Tom. Tom and I have been talking about shooting in Venice for 14 years now. One of the reasons I'm drawn to it is it hadn't been shot in quite the way I imagined shooting it. It's a very difficult location to shoot. There are no vehicles allowed in this city. Everything has to be brought in by boat, then carried to set by hand.
It's my first time in Venice.
It's mine too. We wanted Venice to have a completely different feel from the rest of the movie. And then we made that more challenging by deciding to shoot a sequence entirely at night. There was no better place than to shoot a sequence at the Doge's Palace. It's a signature landmark of Venice. We brought in digital projectors that actually made the Doge's Palace something of a character. We wanted the building to feel alive. We staged a party and decided to make it about light and color.
It's been a long time, friend.
Great! A chase scene is a signature of every Mission Impossible. We wanted to do something different this time. Venice is this eerie and spooky world with its narrow alleys and corridors. If you're a stranger here, it's very easy to get lost. This becomes very much a labyrinth in which the team is lured. There's fights happening simultaneously. Each one of the actors is trained in a different fighting style, designed to express elements of character and personality. We wanted to really make this a love letter to Venice and to do it in a way that it really had never been done before. We came to Rome to shoot a chase scene, something with a lot more ambition and unpredictability that we haven't had in previous chases.
We'll be screaming through the streets of Rome, motorcycles, cars.
Everything that we shot is completely practical.
We're doing it right. It all comes down to one thing. How do we involve the audience? I just want to give them that thrill.
We let the city tell us the kind of chase it was going to be. Traffic in the city is notorious, and the cobblestone streets make all of the driving unpredictable. Best part is Tom and Hayley, they're handcuffed together.
People are chasing us.
Yes, they are. You're driving.
Tom had to drive one-handed cuffed, for real. No cheating it.
The key is, don't crash.
Who is that person?
I have no idea.
Tom is driving and drifting one-handed through the streets of Rome. That was a day I will never forget.
Trying to do drifts every time you think you're going in one direction. It's the cobblestones on the street say, no, you're not, you're going this way.
You gotta get rid of this car.
Tom and Hayley ditched the car for one of their IMF vehicles.
Suddenly, this tiny little Fiat 500 comes out of nowhere.
We built this Fiat 500 so that it would be faster.
You could barely control the car. It was treacherous.
The Fiat, that was wild.
Some would even say the car is possessed. I don't think we could have made a sequence that was more difficult to shoot if I had gone out of my way to do it. It has really amazing results. It would be impossible without this crew and an actor like Tom.
Looks like we lost them.
We had been exploring for this next installment of Mission. We wanted to make a bigger film, a more global film. Etihad and Abu Dhabi Airport provided us with this airport. It gave us the opportunity to shoot a sequence in the way one had never been done. It was an extraordinary, beautiful location.
And the airport was amazing because it was a fully realized supersonic international airport.
Snapshot, Overwatch, I have him.
It looks like these giant steel sand dunes. And we thought, what better environment for Tom to be running across? It's epic in scale. Once we decided that we were going to shoot the airport sequence in Abu Dhabi,
Stay focused.
we decided to shoot a desert sequence as well. The desert sequence is something Tom and I have always dreamed about. The location just told us what to do.
We're in an area they call the empty quarter. It's pretty stunning. You get most amazing dunes and a big salt flat that we can charge around on with horses.
These things that we're doing, while they seem to flow rather effortlessly, are actually very complicated and involve a lot of skill on Tom's part. It really was the biggest set that we'd ever worked on. Really what motivates us more than the action is the beauty of the locations and the people that we're celebrating when we go there. To shoot these stunts for Mission Impossible. With Tom, there are no limits, so we become a little bit more adventurous every time.
Tom's doing a sport very few people on this planet do. It's called speed flying.
It's a very beautiful and delicate sport.
But it also is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. While it may look similar, speed flying is not skydiving. Skydiving is fairly predictable. Speed flying is incredibly unpredictable.
It's a very small canopy racing down a mountain, just feet off the ground.
Any sort of crosswind could put Tom in peril.
We're gonna do spirals. and we're landing in at incredibly high speed, over 80 kilometers an hour. We've been training for a few years now. And we're always looking for what's the most dynamic way to shoot this.
Coming up with the stunt is only one of the technical challenges. The other is putting a camera in a place that you can see where Tom is operating the speedway.
You can't get close to this with a helicopter or a drone.
So we had to develop a gimbal system flying along with Tom. You had cameras hanging off of both sides being operated in a helicopter.
What's going to work is here's you, here's me. This is what we need. That's one of the things of doing practical action. We are at the mercy of weather. It's too dangerous.
The wind's dropping now and it's only going to get better.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm ready.
Confirming you have picture now.
Picture's good.
3, 2, 1, action.
Tom is airborne, Tom is airborne.
Flying very close to rocks looks quite beautiful. Behind the scenes, we were all in absolute terror. Landing, Tom had to be flying towards the camera vehicle. That meant that Tom had to hit the exact mark, or it can end in disaster. It is truly a one-of-a-kind adventure. This is far and away the most dangerous thing we've ever attempted.
We've been working on this for years. We're gonna shoot it in Norway, and it'll be a motorcycle jump off a cliff into a base jump. I wanted to do it since I was a little kid. It all comes down to one thing: the audience.
There's a lot going into this stunt. So Tom put together this master plan to coordinate all of these experts in each of the particular disciplines involved to make this whole thing happen.
John and I are jumping out of the helicopter. He's gonna chase me. That's what we say to each other. Don't be careful, be confident. Be confident.
A year of base training, advanced skydive training, a lot of canopy skills, a lot of tracking.
Tom Cruise, he's an amazing individual. You tell him something and he just locks it in. His sense of spatial awareness, he's the most aware person I've ever met.
Lots of practice on stability and freefall.
Tracking with John and Miles in the air, doing lots of different positioning like they were a two-man team in the air, coming on top of each other, below each other, backtracking, front tracking. You know, we've drilled and drilled and drilled.
When you do a lot of jumps back to back, the canopy control skills improve a lot.
We have 3 open canopies, which is a good thing.
The training's gone really well. It's progressive massively.
Hey, McHugh. How are you? Great day, man. This is the next part of training right here, motocross.
Let's do it.
So we built a motocross track.
Getting competent in the motocross, so he's comfortably jumping 70, 80-foot tabletops. Great time in the air, great positioning on the bike, landing well.
I have to get so good at this that there's just no way that I miss my marks.
That's good. Come a little closer to me. Coming up with the stunt is only one of the technical challenges. The other is putting a camera in a place that you can see where Tom is doing it. Finding the right lens, the right platform, the right medium. Even 2 years ago, the cameras didn't exist that would allow us to do what we're trying to do today.
How do we involve the audience? I just want to give them that thrill.
That means the camera has to be in front of Tom and as close to him as possible.
Feels like you're going over the camera. Yes, very cool. You train and drill every little aspect over and over and over and over again.
They were doing 30 jumps a day.
Getting to a point where he was just a machine. I mean, over 500 skydives.
That's what we do. Over 13,000 motocross jumps.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, it's great.
We replicated this ramp in England at a quarry.
We filled the quarry with cardboard boxes, which were there to catch the motorcycle. And the reason why we did that is so that Tom could simulate the jump.
How fast should I go off? What distance do I travel?
We built models of different ramps at different angles to calculate what Tom's trajectory would be. We have to be able to consistently predict where Tom is going to be in three-dimensional space.
We're gonna have a GPS chip on me.
And that recorded every single one of Tom's jumps, along with his ground speed, whether there was a headwind, whether there was a crosswind. And by doing this multiple times, we were able to get a consistent set of data.
So that each take we can see what height I am, so this way we can set drones and cameras in places where I can go right into close-up. Rule 1. Don't hit me with the drone. Because if we do it all, we don't capture it right, what's the point? Let's do it, guys. Ready? Yep. Always wear my earplugs so I don't hear myself scream.
We are ready.
The key is me hitting certain speeds and being consistent with that. There's no speedometer, so I do it by sound and feel of the bike. And then as I depart the bike, I'm choosing the wind that's hitting me here, and I'm cupping my chest. That will give me lift. Thank you all very much for your help, guys.
We're here in Norway. We've been constructing this ramp over a number of months. Everything here has to be brought in by helicopter.
Engineers and technicians, it's incredible what they've done. This is masterful.
Today is day 1 of principal photography, and we are starting in classic mission form with the biggest stunt in the film.
What we're doing here is I'm just doing jumps just to warm up the body. Let's do it just to get my tracking going and make sure everything's working all right. Try not to smile.
Basically, when he gets down and puts a parachute on and goes and does the bike jump, he'll actually know the weather conditions in this area, in the valley, and on the ground.
And then he has to safely deploy a parachute. Now he's in a rock bowl with walls all around him, and he's got to fly out of it.
Of course, you know, when something's been done for the first time, you can't help but worry a little bit about how it's really going to turn out.
With a jump like this, the challenge is finding the cameras, it's the amount of preparation, and then it's weather.
You want the light to be right, you want the clouds to be right. Misty, but not foggy. This weather right here is exactly what we're looking for.
He is about 10 minutes away from coming up here, landing, and doing the actual stunt.
Sounds good. We're in motion. See you soon.
Now we're gonna set the frames with this camera ship with the drone just to verify everything, then we're gonna get ready.
You know, the only things you really have to avoid while doing a stunt like this is serious injury or death. Here we go. You're riding a motorcycle, which is pretty dangerous, on top of a ramp that's elevated off the ground, so if you come off the ramp, that's gonna be very bad. You're falling. If you don't get a clean exit from the bike and you get tangled up with it, if you don't open your parachute, you're not gonna make it.
I saw a canopy.
To you guys, thank you.
Now, Tom, that was absolutely beautiful. Like nothing wrong. Bike went away. I mean, the track was perfect. It was actually, it was great.
Thanks, mate. I think I can hold to the bike a little longer.
Pretty much the biggest stunt in cinema history. Tom Cruise just rode a motorcycle off a cliff 6 times today.
This is far and away the most dangerous thing we've ever attempted. The only thing that scares me more is what we have planned for Mission 8.